I'd like to say a big thank you to Squarespace for sponsoring this episode of the vlog. Whether you need a domain, a website, or an online store, make it with Squarespace.
Squarespace's templates make creating an online identity
even easier. Each template is a starting point for a wide range of projects, whether you're pursuing your side hustle or your main gig.
In 2018, Squarespace has 8 new templates.
You can create a beautiful website with Squarespace's all-in-one platform. There's nothing to install, patch, or upgrade ever.
Squarespace provides award-winning customer service 24 hours a day. It's easy to set up or transfer your domain to Squarespace. Instead of working with multiple vendors to manage your online presence, you're able to manage all your online and billing services with Squarespace. Squarespace allows you to manage your products, your orders, your inventory
easily. Ready to start your new business? Go to squarespace.com for a free trial. And when you're ready, go to squarespace.com/Jimmy DiResta for 10% off your first domain or your first website. And if you support my sponsors, I get to stay here in the workshop and build my canoe. Welcome back, thanks for joining me. If you didn't get a chance to see this axe video that I made during the week, go check it out. It's called Franken Axe, and that's because I found part of it in a graveyard, which is true. Some people accuse me of staging it, but I did not stage it. I found it in this old abandoned crypt, this pick, and the pick became the spike on the end of this fireman's axe. Go check it out. I tell a funny story on the podcast where I'm trying to slam this axe into a hollow stump in my backyard, and all of a sudden I started getting stung by bees. So go check it out. Stupid story on the podcast. We have a podcast called Making It. You can find it on iTunes. Me, Bob, and Dave. My boomerang tables are just about done. This mid-century modern style table that I'm making for a client. And we're trying to decide on the finish. We went with sapele because we thought we wanted a reddish, brownish look, but now we might actually bleach them white. We're working on some finished samples right now, and maybe by the next vlog they'll be finished and painted. But I'm happy with the construction of them, nice and simple and sturdy. You can see the canoe right here. The canoe is doing really well. My cousin John helped me do the epoxy on the outside. Taylor helped me do the epoxy on the inside. It gets a full mesh on the outside and a full piece of mesh on the inside, and the epoxy basically melts the mesh into the wood, so it becomes basically invisible. And with a few coats, you don't even see the texture of the mesh, but it's there for a tremendous amount of strength. So moving along, I did the gunnels or the in-wales, and now I'm working on the out-wales, and it's moving along pretty good. I'm really happy with the progress. Hopefully I'm going to wrap this all up maybe within a week, 2 weeks. I'm making this canoe for the Filson store in New York City. The weekend of November 19th, it's going to be on display, maybe permanent display at the Filson store in Union Square, New York. And I will be there with the canoe talking about it. And if anybody wants to come meet me, November 19th, 18th, something, whatever that weekend is, I'll talk more about it as we get close in New York City at the Filson store in Union Square, New York. This is another sign video I did, but it will only be here in the vlog. I cut it down to a 2-minute segment in the vlog. And this is a sign I'm making for the Thrillist, which is, I guess, like a food news agency. I'm not quite sure. But check out 2-minute sign video right here, right now. I'd like to send a big thank you to Patrick. Thank you, Patrick. Patrick hooked me up with this vintage antique Superior drill press. It is a giant drill press, very heavy cast iron. Me and my cousin John had to go out to Massachusetts to pick this drill up. When we first looked at it, we said, oh, there's no way. But we ended up dismantling it, and it's got an interesting story. What is this house now? How old is this? Do we know?
The house is, or the building itself was made in 1805, we believe.
Wow.
And it was originally the workshop of Thomas Blanchard, who actually invented the eccentric lathe, standardized machining, the car in 1825.
So that could, I mean, this is his shop, of course, but that could have conceivably been his drill press.
It could have been. It's hard to tell exactly the date of it.
Right, we don't know if it overlaps his age or not.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
We're trying to figure out because there's no plates or anything on it.
What are you going to do with this house?
So we're renovating the whole thing. We're going to make it into about a 3,700 square foot single family.
It's beautiful. Another new vintage tool I picked up this week is this Damon and Pete printing press. Mike knew I collected printing presses and he brought it over to me. Mike, thank you, buddy. This is something that needs to be restored. It has been sitting in a farmer's field for 20 years somewhere in upstate New York. It is now my duty to bring it back to life. Just this evening, I got it moving a little bit. So I'm really excited. I got some movement out of it, and a little movement only leads to more movements. I think we're gonna have a working printing press in just a few days.
Do it, man. Come on.
Ooh, baby. That's the first movement I've gotten. You got a camera. Oh, baby. Getting some movement, baby. Wow, that's the very first time I
want to say thank you again to the Infinite Craftsman for giving me this reed surface grinder. This thing is pretty cool. I got it working with the help of my 3-phase converter from American Rotary, and this thing works beautifully. It's helping me with the production on my razor blades. You can see one of the razor blades. Taylor made this kind of makeshift case. This is just a prototype, but this is one of the blades surfaced on the surface grinder, and it's just the beginning. I've ordered 75 of these. They all need to be surfaced and hardened and sharpened. I'm going to harden them in my even heat oven. We're going to surface grind them on my new surface grinder. So these are going to be coming along very soon. Just a little update on the Knuckleduster. Me and my business partner discovered that it's probably illegal for us to sell them, and we could probably get in a lot of trouble. We spoke to a couple of lawyers. I am not going to sell the Knuckleduster. That being said, I ordered 50 of them. Can't sell them. Won't be able to sell them. But I'm going to have 50 of them. Just to give to friends and family. For many years, I've been ordering table legs from tablelegs.com. Recently, I posted a video where I made, table happens to be back there. I made my oak table, and I used tablelegs.com, and I mentioned them in the video, and they contacted me. It's leading to a really cool friendship with Matt Borat. Matt is the owner of tablelegs.com and the lead designer there, and I went and visited him in Vermont, and we had a really nice afternoon. What a special guy, a true craftsman. Here's my conversation with Matt.
Matthew Burek. We make mostly round things out of wood. I've spent the past 40 years with a passion for the colonial design and architecture in New England, and so I'm just a self-taught designer. Built everything from windows to raised panel doors to entryways and sash. And you know, from studying, years and years of studying antiques, I've just really learned that good balance is,
Right.
what the key transition points are,
Right.
how all the elements on a table leg or a piece of furniture, how they must all relate in size and balance and proportion.
Right.
And it's what sets our product apart, I think, is those years of just looking at good, better, best design, antique stores, museums. Started doing restoration architecture, moved to reproduction furniture. And over the course of building out a line of reproduction furniture, you know, I was ever adding legs to that. And so I eventually got successful enough with that I needed pretty decent quantities. And I decided that as I looked around the marketplace for another woodworker, there wasn't anything you could buy that was well designed. So I decided to take my designs to the market, and it pretty much took right off, got legs, and away it went.
How has computer-controlled design affected your business?
It just speeds everything up. What used to take me from an idea in a pencil on a drafting table to legs that I could sell used to take me 3 months. I can now come in the morning with an idea and have a finished set of legs done by that evening before the shop closes at the end of the day. Draw it digitally, import it to a CNC lathe.
Crazy.
Yeah, it's been amazing, and we have not lost anything in the quality of the design because it's sped up. If you don't have a good eye when you do that drawing, then you won't have a good part. So you've
Right.
got to have the eye.
The timing worked out that this old house came to visit me, and one of the projects was to do a table, a country table, and so TableEggs.com provided the table base and skirt. I made the top out of spalted maple from Vermont Wildwoods, who also works with Matt. We were able to make a beautiful top and table, and we made a beautiful Adirondack chair out of steel and wood. That's going to be next season on Ask This Old House. These episodes we taped last week are probably going to be airing sometime in the spring. Kevin, Heath, Sarah, and the team, guys, thank you so much. It was really great to have you back. Thank you for coming over again.
Our friend Jimmy DiResta has a modern riff on a classic Adirondack chair, and he's going to show us how to build it.
And we'll be spending some more time in upstate New York building 2 more projects with maker Jimmy DiResta. As always, we'll have a little fun along the way. Don't miss a minute of the 17th season of Ask This Old House.
How'd the shoot go? Did you have fun?
I did. 2 days. 3 days. What, 3 days? 3 days, 2 projects.
We got a lot done.
More fun this time than last, I think.
I think the projects are more in line with the audience.
So a little bit of woodworking, which we like the woodworking. Although the metal work on the chair, the Adirondack chair, classic, you can't go wrong.
Right on, bro. Thanks for coming. I really appreciate you guys thinking of me and having me. Thank you.
Always a pleasure. We'll do it again.
Thank you, brother. And now for some mailbag stuff. Thank you, Southwire. This is cool. Thank you to Southwire for sending me a ton of great tools. Thank you, Stan Zinkowski, for sending me these squares. These squares are really great if you're a machinist. They're small squares. They have a lot of capability of going in different spaces and different shapes and sizes. So, Stan, thank you for that. And there's a spot for my Randy Richards Scribe. And this scorch marker is pretty cool. You draw on wood and then you heat it up and it turns into scorched wood. Check it out. Building update, my buddy David from PC Workshop and his crew finished the siding. David also did the windows and the floor last year. So things are moving along swiftly. Insulation is next, and we got to work on getting the electric fully installed. Right now, we're just still working on an extension cord. David, thank you very much.
We completed the job.
You did the job. How was it? You guys, it seems like you guys finished faster than you thought.
I was surprised at I thought it was gonna take maybe 10 days. Yeah.
Shit. So how did you like working with this siding?
It's the first time we use LP's smart siding. I mean, at the beginning when you mentioned the stuff, I looked into internet to see what the material was, and honestly, it's not bad at all. I mean, hardy plank is a good stuff, but I think this looks pretty good and it goes pretty smooth.
And we got to paint it right away, so it's
we have to paint it. Yeah.
We're going to paint it next week. We're going to paint it black, and a lot of people were worried about this rain drip inside. You did a lot of research, and
well, I called the manufacturer of the seawall system.
Yeah.
And a guy called me back and say, "No, David, you're ready to go. It's a barrier already in the paint.
Right.
That they mix it together." So he said, "No, you're 100% ready to go."
And there is a texture on the zip siding, so that it does have that moisture.
They have that
vapor.
breathed, yeah.
It has a breathing chamber kind of thing.
Yeah, I have a lot of comments too on the Instagram. Thanks.
Oh, everyone's
thanks people to make my
everyone's telling you did it wrong.
My stress level went high.
We spoke to Zip, we spoke to LP, and they both said it should be fine.
Yeah, the warranty on LP is still the same over seawall, so they they got 100% cover.
Cool, man. Thank you for everything.
Thank you, Jimmy.
Welcome. Looks great. Beautiful job. The siding happens to be LP Smart Side, but I did pay for it. It's not a plug. There's no commercial. There's no endorsement here. This week we poured a slab in the back of what I call my machine shop. It's a little pad. It's going to be 14 feet by 20 feet, and this is where the blacksmith shop's going to go. Next week, David and his team are going to build a roof over it, and it's going to be an open-air workshop. In time, I might put walls around it, but for now, it's just a small extension, kind of a porch off the back of my workshop, and that's going to be the blacksmith shop. So it's going to be awesome, open air. It's going to be very nice, and it's 12-inch thick, reinforced, high-pressure concrete, because in case I want to put a power hammer on that, and it's going to have some nice return. And I did buy a new trailer. I never did get my old trailer back. It is stolen for good. For now, it's gone. And I went out and I needed a new trailer. So I bought a new trailer. First thing I needed the trailer for was this crazy cool table. Check out that table. That is 12 foot in diameter. That is what we're calling basically Knights of the Round Table. We're going to have dinners and hangouts at that table. Taylor and I found it at a flea market this past week.
I paid in full for the trailer, too. There's no endorsement here for the trailer.
Thank you guys for joining me. I really appreciate it. I will see you next time. Got a lot of cool builds in the shoot. And if you're interested, go to my Patreon. I have a lot of voiceovers coming up on my Patreon for like the last 10 videos that I actually published. I'm doing this week and next. I'm going to try and get as many voiceover videos onto my Patreon as I can. So if you want, it's only $1 a month. Go find me on Patreon for my voiced over videos. Thank you for the love and support. I will see you soon. Appreciate it.